Hi, my name is Gabby DeLorenz, and I am an abundance coach. I help women step into their power so they can live a truly authentic life, making the decisions that they want, whether in business or in life, so that they can continue to see and find the highest and best version of themselves. Today, with the world as crazy as it is, I would love to talk to you about anxiety. Today, we're going to specifically just talk about generalized anxiety disorder. That being said, despite what you're going through right now with this crazy world, I want to invite you, if you need medical attention, please seek it out. Know that that is an option. And anxiety truly does cause a chemical imbalance in your brain. So if this is something that you're struggling with, please seek medical attention where you need it. Today, we're going to specifically talk about generalized anxiety disorder. They call it GAD. It is one of the most common anxiety disorders and affects approximately 3.1% of the American population. There is 6.8 million reported cases for American adults aged 18 and over, with the average onset being 31 years of age. So if this is you, please know that you are not alone. That alone may just help you get through these rough patches. Know that when anxiety and stress comes on, it is a release of chemicals in your brain. These are the stress hormones. Most notably, the ones you might heard of most commonly is cortisol and norepinephrine. So when stress hormones get released, we need to know how to bring ourselves back into what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. So you have your sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight, flight, or freeze. We have our parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest. We'll talk about different techniques to help get you from the sympathetic nervous system back to the parasympathetic nervous system. But know that this is a chemical imbalance. So you are not crazy. You are not crazy. Well, excuse me, we all are a little bit crazy, but this is a chemical imbalance. So offer yourself the grace there if that is helpful for you. When we have an increase in stress hormones, we lose the ability to regulate our negative emotions, which then causes more negative emotions. There is a spot in your brain called the amygdala, and the amygdala is in charge of all of your emotions. It's your emotions center. So basically, when you are having negative thought patterns, when you're experiencing anxiety, you start this downward spiral. The amygdala turns on. It can't really help you regulate the negative emotions. So then it causes more negative emotions. It truly is a spiral and almost like this domino effect, which then in worst case scenarios leads to panic disorders, leads to having a full-blown panic attack. So keeping that in mind, it is happening in your brain. We need to slow, alter, or change the loop in that process. Again, we'll talk about the specifics of how to change this here in just a minute. So hold tight. When the amygdala gets turned on, it perceives danger. This can be danger of fear of spiders. This can be danger like there is somebody that you are fearful of your life if you're in an empty parking lot type situation. But basically, the alarm goes off in your brain and it motivates you to do something. When you get motivated to do something, for example, we'll go with spiders. When you see a spider, you scream, maybe you run away. You have now built this habit into your brain center that anytime you see a spider, let's totally avoid it. We, at the end of the day, are creatures of habit. So when you see the spider, you scream, you run, you have made that a habit. So anytime now that you see a spider, you're going to scream, you're going to then run away from it. So you are building this habit of fleeing at the sight of danger. The biggest piece, that missing piece, is sitting with it. What is true here? So pausing. It is all about the pause and it is all about the surrender. Pausing. What is true here? Because screaming and running has saved you in the past. You've built this habit up. We need to alter that process. So next time you see a spider, the next time you find yourself approaching these stressful situations, pause. Ask yourself, what is true here? What is helpful here? And what kind of game plan can you get going? Of course, spiders is a little bit more of silly for some people, maybe not silly for you, but a little bit more of a silly situation. Whereas I know stresses right now can be off the charts with the different financial situations, job situations, family situations, a little bit more, I would say, important than fleeing from your spider, but you can see how the puzzle pieces can fit then together for you. So the next time you find yourself in a stressful situation, I want to invite you to pause. Ask yourself, what is true here, right now, in this present moment? Is this spider a threat to you? If it is, what can then you do about it? What action plan can you set in motion to help save you from the spider? In yoga, we use this when we hold postures. So we'll hold a student in a posture, downward dog or warrior two. And when the muscles start shaking at a physical level, right? Anxiety is all in our head. It's hard to see. Let's change it so you can see the physical side. So imagine in a yoga pose, if you don't do yoga, maybe a workout pose, right? If I hold you at the bottom of squat, if I hold you in a warrior two pose with your arms extended and your feet long, what happens? The body starts shaking, the physical body starts shaking. And then what happens with your mind? Your mind says, oh, this is too hard. Oh, I need to get out. We start these loops of negative thought patterns. The same thing happens with anxiety. When we start these loops of negative thought patterns, it then keeps them going. It's that same domino effect. So how can we hit the pause button? What happens if you just stay? What happens if you just stay at the bottom of your squat? If you just sit with your spider? Is the world going to end? Maybe, maybe not. So sitting with it, what comes up for you? As the body starts screaming at you, the physical body starts screaming at you, and while you're holding your workout posture, you're holding your yoga posture. What happens? Can you calm the brain down? Stress causes inflammation in your body. When stress causes the inflammation, you decrease the white blood cells. Guess what's fighting our infections? The white blood cells. So stress literally will decrease your immune system. So it is imperative to notice these thought patterns and put a stop in them. Stop the loops, stop the habitual loops so that you can start living the life that you fully imagine yourself living, in the life of your dreams with decreased anxiety. Other triggers that you can notice when maybe anxiety is coming: nervousness, restlessness, weakness in the physical body, increase in your heart rate. You might get chills. There might be a tiredness or a weakness, fatigue, difficulty breathing, difficulty focusing, hyperventilating. You might have gastrointestinal problems. And then as well as muscle aches and pain. So physical symptoms are definitely caused by stress. Increase in the stress hormones. The best piece of advice I can give you is to identify your triggers. So if it is the spider, know that maybe you need somebody else to come help you until you can work up the courage, muster up the courage to help get a little bit closer every time to that spider. Sitting with it, asking yourself, is this true? Is this safe? But also right now, financial issues, job stress, family stress, medications. Medications may be causing you to get triggered. It also may be, are you able to get your medications that you need at this time? Chronic pain can cause an increase in stress. Right now, your whole life has been thrown upside down. If you weren't experiencing stress, I might say there might be something wrong with you in that regard. There should be some stress. Why? Because stress keeps you safe. Fears keep you safe from doing these crazy things, right? Jumping off a cliff. Fear will keep you safe there. But right now, with the world being thrown upside down, you're having to really re-identify your life, maybe re-identify your job life, your children's life, their work study life. Notice that, acknowledge that, sit with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Stress can be positive if you view it in a positive light. Checking out caffeine, alcohol, cigarettes. All of these can be your triggers. When you have too much caffeine, that might get your heart rate already elevated. When your heart rate gets elevated, that may be causing you to have some of these signs and symptoms of stress, of anxiety. All anxiety is living in the future. So how can you come back to this present moment asking yourself, is this true? Am I safe? So first and foremost, check in with your negative thought patterns. Check in with them. What is outside of your control? And if it is outside of your control, let it go. If you want to sing the song, sing it. Let it go. Let it go. If you have these negative thought patterns coming up and you're having a hard time letting it go, I want to invite you into what I call square breath. So sit up nice and tall, find a comfortable seat, ground your feet into the floor. If you're sitting on the floor, just feel the floor beneath you. So anything that's touching the floor, feel that. If your bottom's in a chair, feel that, ground into that. Square breath is the easiest and it's really quick. I want you to inhale for the count of 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2. Pause. Hold your breath. 4, 3, 2. Inhale. 4, 3, 2. Pause. 4, 3, 2. Exhale. 4, 3, 2. Pause. 4. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Let your breath come back to you gently, naturally. Checking in first and foremost, how do you feel differently? With intentional breathing, have you been able to calm yourself down? I call it square breath because you inhale for 4 seconds. You pause for 4 seconds. You exhale for 4. You pause for 4. And you repeat 4 times. Super simple, and it does the trick. Connecting to your breath will cause you to come into the parasympathetic nervous system. Why? Because of something called the polyvagal theory. The vagus nerve runs through your thoracic diaphragm. So your diaphragm lives right between your rib cage. When you inhale, the ribs expand. That's when the diaphragm contracts, that actually pushes down. When you exhale, you'll feel the ribs come together. The diaphragm relaxes, helps pull the ribs together as it helps push the air out of your lungs. Inhale, the diaphragm contracts and shortens. Exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, helps push the air out of the lungs. The vagus nerve lives through the diaphragm. There's a little hole in the diaphragm built for the vagus nerve. When you breathe with your diaphragm, so when you're breathing, big belly breath in, big belly breath to relax, not with your chest and your upper traps. Breathing with your belly will cause a calmness in the nervous system, bringing you from the parasympathetic nervous system bringing you from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system to calm your body down by massaging with the diaphragm, massaging your vagus nerve. So when you find yourself stressed out and you need to find that pause, I invite you to find your breath right away. The breath will bring you down, will root you down, will ground you back down, and help calm your nervous system right back down. Aromatherapy has been very successful for a lot of people. There's this kind of essential oil craze going on right now. And really, it's all good and well. If you can believe in the 100 million things that all of these essential oils are supposed to help you with, I definitely do. I understand the skepticism. But scientifically proven, there is what we call aromatherapy, and it's basically using candles, incense, or these essential oils to help calm you down. The best ones I can recommend for calming the nervous system down, chamomile. Just like chamomile tea. All of that is great. Lavender, really great, as well as eucalyptus. All of these will help calm the nervous system down and will help you come back into the present moment. To live a happy and healthy life, 20 minutes of movement is all that's recommended. So 20 minutes of walking a day, moderate walking, it's not even running. So making sure that you're getting up, you're moving. When you find yourself in these negative thought patterns, change the loop. Stop, get up. If it's possible for you, go for a walk. If it's not possible, some squats. yoga, doesn't matter. 15 to 20 minutes of movement, a moderate movement is all that you need. So walking away from these stressful conversations, these stressful moments, actions. If you're in the middle of a meeting, you might have to stay. That might be a little bit more breath oriented because you have to stay in your meeting, stay on the phone call. That's super stressful. But making sure that when possible, get up, change the situation. One of my favorite things to do while I'm working, if the internet's not working, if videography is not working, if there's a crazy train running through the middle of my video, stand up, spin around, or just shake the body out. It's changing the thought patterns. When you start to get negative, when you start to find negative thought patterns, when you start to be stressed out, stress looks like depression on your body. You squeeze the shoulders forward, you protect your heart space, the head starts to come forward, you start to protect all of your energies. Working out, standing up, spinning around, all of that will change the energetic body. So change it up for yourself. Find your breath, but absolutely find your movement. You'll find that you prefer one or the other. Just check in. Another really great piece of advice I have for you guys is morning or evening pages. So this is from the book An Artist's Way. Basically, first thing in the morning, or if you have trouble sleeping, write down your thoughts, write down what's stressing you out. Just for 3 pages of like notebook spiral paper. Pen and paper usually works better. If you're a computer person, as long as you're getting out, I think it's great. But morning or evening pages, for 3 pages, just write. If you don't know what to write, just write, I don't know what to write. But eventually the things on the forefront of your mind are going to come out on the paper, and therefore hopefully not causing you as much stress. With that being said, if you don't know what's causing you to be super stressed out, anxious, anything like that, I want to invite you to start a stress journal. So basically, this looks like anytime you feel stressed, find your journal, right? Just write down what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, maybe what has happened or what you're anticipating is going to happen. Write it down. After a few days or a week, go back, take inventory of what is causing you these actual stresses. That may help you identify what's actually triggering you right now. Because we all usually think it's one thing, and it really could be something totally different. Meditation is a really, really awesome tool as well. If you're looking for more meditations, I have a ton of them for free. I would love to offer you. So please, please feel free to reach out. But meditation, guided meditations, if you don't know what to do, right? Don't know what to do. People say they don't know how to meditate. It literally looks just clearing your mind and your thoughts. So finding a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, put on some gentle music. But really the best piece of advice I can have for you if you're starting a meditation journey or any yoga journey, trying to go within, do a body scan. So starting at your right big toe, how does this feel? Does it feel cool, warm, anything like that? Working up through the arch of your right foot to your right heel, up your right calf to the right knee, to the right hip, so on and so forth, up and down the body. Just check in. This can set a timer on your phone, on the computer, whatever. Set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes. Just sit with yourself, with your body, asking yourself, how do you really feel right here in this moment? The next piece of advice is diet. Food is fuel. So what you eat is absolutely affecting how you think. Food is fuel. I can't say it enough. When you start viewing your food as fuel, you are much better able to feed your body because you are feeding your thoughts. So notice the next time you eat fried food, what happens? What happens in your GI system, but what happens in your brain? How are you thinking about yourself? Versus eating a diet high in vitamins, in minerals, nutrients that will fuel your brain. If you have dietary questions specifically, again, please feel free to reach out. Everyone is a little bit different. We all need fruits and vegetables. We all need some sort of a carbohydrate. If you're scared of carbs, please don't be. They are the first source of fuel that your body will use and uptake most easily and most regularly. So try to just live a balanced diet life. I don't even want to call it a diet. Live a balanced meal life. And I promise you that will absolutely make you feel better, fuel you, and keep you feeling less fatigued, less groggy. Sleep is another huge avenue for decreasing stress. So if you're having trouble sleeping, come back to the breath. When you're laying in bed, find a comfortable position. And this can happen before bed too. Number one, first and foremost, turn your electronics off. That stuff will keep you awake. If you're reading the news before bed, turn it off. It's just going to cause you more stress. Airplane mode is a real thing. Turn that on. Do not disturb, also a real thing. Turn that on as well. But if you're having trouble sleeping, laying down, find a comfortable position, relax the body. It goes right back to that body scan that we were talking about with meditation. Relaxing each individual part of your body. And then finding your diaphragmatic breathing, taking a breath in, feeling the diaphragm expand, exhaling, relaxing deeper, almost like you can sink into your body, the eyes sink into your skull, your tongue away from your teeth, like you can melt into your bed. The biggest piece here, making the exhale 1 second longer than the inhale will calm the nervous system, bring you into the parasympathetic, and help you relax. The last pieces of advice I have for you: decreasing your self-sabotage, which is huge, and it sounds crazy, but it literally is noticing, same thing, these negative thought patterns. Asking yourself again, with these negative thought patterns, are you living in the present moment? Anxiety is fear for future things. Depression is fear for past things. Are you right here in this moment? Is it true? Is this thought helpful? If the answer is no, again, let it go, with making sure you're connecting back to your breath. Maybe you stop and find some movement, but ending the self-sabotage, right? The worst enemy, your worst enemy should not live between your ears. You need to be your best friend. So in what moments when you find yourself negatively talking to yourself, how can you then boost yourself back up? Apologize to yourself. Notice the pattern. Don't get mad at yourself for thinking this. That's just more negativity. Put a pause to it. Take a moment. Notice the negative thought patterns that are coming up. Let them go. Start talking positive to yourself. Apologize to yourself, because you have the choice to choose again. And the last piece of information I can share with you today, I will share with you today, is positive affirmations, positive visualizations. If you are stressed to go into your first virtual meeting room, what is the worst that can happen, first of all? But stop. Envision yourself crushing the meeting, crushing your pitch, the interview, whatever it is that you're going to do. Speak nicely to yourself. And when all else fails, come to confidence pose. Sit up nice and tall, hands on your hips, shine your heart open. Sit here, lift your chin away from your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. If possible, look at yourself in the mirror or set up your phone, right? That selfie mode. Squeeze, open your heart, stand there and just breathe for 2 minutes, for 5 breaths, whatever amount of time you have. This confidence pose is proven to open up your systems, help bring in some positive light, and help. It may feel vulnerable for just the first few moments, but checking back in, coming back into your body, believing in yourself. Imagine yourself crushing whatever it is in front of you. Stepping back into what you know to be true. So if you are dealing with stress and anxiety, no, you're not alone. Find your breath, relax the body, ask yourself, what is true here? If you guys are struggling to step into your highest power, to release some of this stress so that you can be the best version of yourself, please know I offer free coaching calls. I would love to at least be a voice of listening ears and a voice of reason for you. I would love to be of service in whatever form or fashion that you guys need. So please feel free to reach out. I would love to be a part of your health journey. Let me know what you need. Again, my name is Gabby DeLorenz, and I look forward to seeing you here in the future. Good luck, God bless, and be well.